Oh,
Good morning, everybody. So before we start, I have a question. Does anybody have any questions from last week? Get off mic and let's go. Let's start there. No? So how many of you, by show of hands, how many of you have started the research process for your niche market? Okay, for those of you that have not, my question to you would be, why? Why are you so busy? Did you recruit a ton of people? Did you list 8 homes? Okay, so Gina, you're okay. I totally understand why you did not do that. But so ask yourself why. Why did you not do it? Are you not interested in doing it? Are you too busy to do it? Is it not that important? So we're going to move on into you have the who, and I'm just going to tell you, in any situation, if you have the who, you can always find the what, the where, the how, and the why, and when. So did any of you take journalism class when you were in school? It's always those questions: who, what, when, where, how, and why. So we're going to talk about the other questions here. Now, I am going to use a slide presentation because I do know that everybody learns differently. Some of you learn by listening, some of you learn by seeing and reading, and others of you hear what you hear. So hey, maybe if I hit several of those, at least 2, then it's going to sink in a little bit better. For those of you that can't take notes, that's fine. And because you can go back and listen to it again and make notes if you want. I do have some handouts and I will post those after this, but we're just going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, go off mute. I can't see everybody, so to know that you're raising your hand. So Tiff, if you're here, tell me they're raising their hand. If not, Tim, if you're here and you see somebody raise their hand, just come off mute and tell me. Otherwise, hold your questions and we'll talk about it at the end. So I'm going to, I can share, right?
yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll get started. All right. So everybody can see my screen?
Yes, we can.
All righty. All right. Niche marketing 2. There we go. All right. We're just going to do a quick review. Remember, your demographic is your target market. That's your peeps. The geographic is an area that you want to work in. Remember that at least 60% of the people that you're spending money marketing, or you're going to see, or you're sending emails to, or you're sending postcards to, are never going to buy from you. So you are wasting that time, that money, that effort. Target in, but spend your money wisely. You want to add to your customer data in KV Core, filter your customers by information like age, zip code, products that they purchased the last time. What did they buy? What kind of home did they buy last time? What kind of home did they live in? All that kind of thing. And make sure you're going to go beyond the usual data to find the information on how your customers spend their time, what their interests are, and where they spend their time online. So having said that, let's talk about, again, why do you target market for real estate? You're going to attract more customers. I know that seems counterproductive, but it isn't. When you narrow in and you're spending your money wisely and you are spending your time and your efforts towards one thing, then you are going to be more focused. It's going to be more efficient. You're going to get more done and you're going to get more results. So also, one of the things that I'm sure you all know, because you all read books and everything, but the more frequent that you are in contact with someone, the more they begin to trust you. If you are posting on your Facebook page and you're giving good information and your face is there and they can see you, if you are sending out literature, if you are passing out your business card and your face is on there, the more often they see you, the more they think they know you, and the more they trust you. Trust is hugely important in our business. You also are positioning yourself as the go-to expert. You're establishing your credibility and your expertise in the area. You need to think about shifting your approach from sales to value, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. When you know exactly who your customer is, your marketing can come from a place of value. If you know that the people that you're working with are new home buyers, then you're going to be giving them ideas and things of value towards that goal for them. If you don't know what they're looking for, then it's all generic, and generic stuff just doesn't work. You're going to stand out from the competition. Believe me, when you are focusing with what you're doing, it looks so much more professional than somebody that's trying to be everything to everybody all of the time. When you show up on social media, targeting marketing can be the answer to what you want to share. So many times I hear people say, I don't know what to do on social media. Okay, well, if you know what your target market is, then because you know the who, then you're going to know the what they want and where they are and how they, you're going to establish how they buy. So your post can reflect all of that. But I'm going to tell you, still just focus on your other strategies. It's not just niche marketing. If you're doing an open house and someone comes in that wants to work with you and they don't fall into your, niche market box, then I'm not telling you to turn them away. I'm just saying that when you're spending your marketing money, make sure that you know where it's going. So, identifying your target customer. We talked about this, analyzing your business, creating your list, creating a list of who you want to work with, looking for opportunities in your area. If there's a new industry that's coming in that's creating jobs for those people relocating, that's a new niche for you. If you have something that your brokerage offers that's specific that other brokerages don't offer. For example, if you look into our what's the one that buys for cash? What's that called, Tiffany? Oh, she's on the phone. Anybody remember what that's called?
The OfferPad?
Yes, the OfferPad. We also have, the relocation program. We have things that other brokerages don't have. Are you using those to your advantage? Doing your research. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go by. Checking your market stats, analyzing transaction history, and even talking to people around you. Where do you get your business? Where does it come from? What's the best way for me what's the best target market for me? Work with people that know what they're doing. We always hear that saying, birds of a feather flock together. So look around for the flock that you want to join and make sure that that's the people that you're flying with. So now that I knew the who, where do I find them? So let's talk about those places. Let's open houses, FSBOs, expired listings, cold calling. We all know about that. Business organizations, networking groups, sororities, fraternities, social groups. I'm going to ask you, how many of these do you belong to? How many of you go out once a week, once a month at least, and you actually network with people? Since COVID, we've sat in our homes and we've worked and we send out things electronically, and we don't get out of our house. I made a commitment to myself yesterday that I am going to get out of my house 3 days a week. I'm going to get out of here and go meet people and see them face to face. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to get out of the house. Do you do activities like golf or tennis or pickleball? I mean, if you don't do anything else, join a pickleball team. I mean, those people are fanatic and they'll show up and you'll meet tons of people. How about a specialty club? Wine, beer, food, motorcycle club, cars, trucks. I worked with an agent in Phoenix that they collected antique cars and they went to car shows. She built her business around marketing to people that want large garages. Those people don't buy houses, they buy garages. So, she ended up with a business that is nationwide. She has referrals, she sends referrals out all over because her niche market was something that she believed in, she loved doing, she liked being around those people, they were her people, and she knew what they wanted. Now, what else? Social media ads, videos. If you're not doing videos, do videos. Billboards, we think that doesn't work anymore, but honestly, it does statistically. The benches that you see along the side of the road, buses. One of the agents that worked in my office in Bradenton put strategically on the way to Anna Maria, had park benches or, bus benches, I guess, that had all of his information in on it. In less than 2 years, he was doing $10 million in sales. And where did he get it? He asked, and they said, we saw your face. We knew you because we saw your face on those benches. Radio, TV, maybe you can't afford that, internet now, but it's something to think about because people do buy from radio and TV, particularly older people. Internet marketing, booths in stores, booths at fairs, craft shows, farmers markets. You can also farm neighborhoods, farm apartment buildings. Basically the list is endless. It keeps going on and on and on. So how do we convert them to clients? We have to interact with them. You cannot just send them things. You cannot just blog. You need to do all of those things, but you have to remember, people react in 3 different ways: verbal, written, and nonverbal. Verbal is in person, phone, virtual meetings, presentations, videos, podcasts, brainstorming, training, teaching, all of those things. Written, we all know what that is, but it also includes social media. Nonverbal, that's where how people see you. That's where they see what kind of a person you are. I was told as a kid, and I still believe this, that how a person treats a service person is how they really are. So if they see you be mean to a waiter, or they see you walk around an elderly person without opening the door, that's gonna tell them what kind of person that you are. So remember, we have to interact with them, and we have to interact with them in multiple ways. So forms of marketing, digital. How many of you are doing digital marketing? By a show of hands. So why would you do digital marketing? It's any marketing communications that take place online. So whether that's Facebook, whether that's TikTok, whether that's your website, again, it's only valuable if you are tailoring it to fit your customers. And so the opportunities it presents, it gets you more of those, it gets you in front of more of those people. The challenge it presents is that you have to be consistent and you have to be constantly changing and keeping their attention. Direct marketing. I hear people say, oh, that doesn't work anymore. Oh, that's old fashioned. Let me just tell you, postcards on a consistent basis, telling people something they want to know, sending letters, dropping brochures around into their hands, those things work. It's a 2 to 3% return. That sounds really small, right? So let's say that you choose a neighborhood that has 500 homes in it, and you consistently send a postcard out to them at least monthly. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, and for 12 months. So if you get 2 to 3% of those homes as a sale, so what does that come out to be? Is that like 10 to 15 sales? And what's the cost of that? You need to look at that. But I will tell you, it's probably about $200 a month to send out those postcards to 500 people, maybe 300 now. And if you get the one deal, it's going to pay for all of those. So, and it compounds on top of each other. I have a friend that sells in Scottsdale, Arizona, and she started doing this 15 years ago. And now she sells about 7 to 10 houses a month, strictly from her postcards. Personal marketing. Here's where you have to be aware of who you are and what you're doing. And that is because personal marketing is your interaction with someone else. Meeting in person for lunch, a quick pop by, sitting down at a meeting with someone, being in front of an audience, at a trade show, at an event, networking functions, club meetings, all of those things require you to be the best ambassador you can be. You have to present yourself as the professional that you are, look the professional that you want to be, and present that whole aura so that they buy the full package. And anytime that you're off, you don't feel good, you're grouchy, don't go. Public relations, that's where you get known in your community. Go out, volunteer, get in front of people so that they can see that you are not just a salesperson, you're a real person that has value and is offering something back. I need water. So these are the things that everybody needs to look at, do your research, put them into KV Core with filters, look at each filter, and for each filter, put together a list of things that might interest them. From that list, what can you do? What can you give? What can you offer? What can you promote that's going to get those people their attention? And then where can you go to meet them? Think about that. Where can you go to meet them? And then decide how much time and effort you're willing to invest in this program. If you aren't willing to do the time and put the effort in, then do something else, because you have to focus. We don't get ahead in any business without focusing on the return, and then set up a schedule. So the next thing is the what. What do I say? What do I do? What do I give them? What do I send them? How often do I touch them? Well, I found these things online and I want to share them with you. And I will post them so you can have them after Tiffany tells me I can. Okay, this is an overview of a first-time home buyer. Look how comprehensive that is. Their stats. How many are single? How many are couples? How many have kids? How many live in a two-bedroom? How many live in? How many are full-time employed? Where do they get their media consumption? Is it online, Facebook, blah, blah, blah? What are their general traits? How to market to first-time home buyer. Here's, you have who they are. What are their interests? Cooking, exercising. I found that interesting that 34 and 32-year-olds are interested in cooking. I think that's really cool. Design, shopping, entertaining, their motivations, price and value, convenience too, whatever that is, the room to grow their family, and then how to market. So if you look at these and you say, they consider an interactive format to boost engagement, use more than one type of media, use refreshingly honest copy. So they don't want it all pretty. They want to know the honest truth. They digest large amounts of information at one time. They focus on word of mouth. They seek advice from their family and friends and online reviews, fast response times. All of these things are here on a sheet of paper for you to look at. And if you are looking for first-time home buyers. Now, let's say you're looking for a young professional. Same thing. It talks about what are their stats? Where do they get their media consumption? Where do they consume whatever? What are the general traits? How to market to them? Be exclusive. Young professionals like to show off. They want things that other people don't have. Be sophisticated. They are typically well-educated and enjoy the finer things in life. Be a designer. They're savvy to what's on trend and what's not. So if you're advertising something that's 5 years old, they're not going to be interested. Be authentic. They want convenience and they're willing to pay for it. Their fast response time. They expect you to turn around fast and make it happen. They, I'm sorry, my eyes just went crazy. Make your product Instagram worthy. In other words, make them want to see it. Use more than one type of video, of media, and make sure that you have a lot of photos. And then what are they looking for in a home? Once you know this stuff, it's so much easier to reach out and find where they are. Now we have the upgraders. So we have Mark and Anna, who are 42 and 39, a doctor and a teacher. What do they, where are they, their bio? What's their stats? So they're Generation X. Where do they get their media? What are their general traits? How do you market to an upgrader? And what are upgraders looking for in a home? All of this information is here just for you to do this. It's going to give you a ton of leg up, I guess, on what it is that you want to, who you want to work with, and then how to reach them. Simon Emily, high-end buyers, income 450K, age 48 and 42, investment banker and a lawyer, married with 2 kids, their stats, where they go for their media, their general traits, how to market to a high-end buyer. High-end buyers want the best of the best. You must position your brand as a luxury brand if you are going to work with high-end buyers. They want to see that word. They want to see it in your everything that you say. They are not going to buy something that they don't consider a luxury. Use mixed media with these people. So that means that you have to give them something virtually, and you have to give them something that they can hold in their hand. What they want to be, they are very savvy about what's trendy and what's not. They expect the latest of everything. These are your clients that are going to walk into a house and they're going to know if that stove is 5 years old, if it's 10 years old, or if it's 2 years old. And if it's not if it's not what they want, they may very well turn around away from a house that has a 10-year-old stove in it because they don't want to be bothered with remodeling. So what are they looking for? Spectacular views, exclusive location, luxury design and finishes, privacy, the wow factor. They want their friends to walk in and be impressed and jealous. So that's the high-end client. Now you have Alan and Judith who are downsizing. 63 and 58, 190K a year. Their stats, 50 to 75, have no children living at home, will have around $1.5 million to $2 million to spend. Now, just because they're over 60 doesn't mean they don't use the internet. They do. So look at this. 90% use search engines, 95% use email, 80% use Facebook, 80% have paid off their mortgage entirely. So it'll be a cash purchase. And 80% spend time reading blogs and online articles. Where do they get their media? What are their general traits? How do you market to them? So look at this. It's traditional media. Older generations prefer traditional media, such as newspapers, television, radio, and print. Print. That's your key there. Don't sell to them like they're old. They won't appreciate it. Trust me. That's me. So don't ignore social media, and they will read your text. They grew up reading, and they will read it, and they will read it all the way to the end. Understand that everybody before this, when you send a text or you send an email, they're going to read just like you do the first paragraph, maybe a little into the second paragraph, and after that, they're gone. But these people will read. Be present for the search agents. They're going to use those extensively. What does that mean? They're going to Google you. And then what are downsizers looking for in a home? All of this is there for you. Then I thought about, okay, what about a specific profession? So I went online. Did you know that if you go online and you will say, oh, I'd like to work, my mom's an attorney, I'd like to work with attorneys. So I pulled this up. Right now, the demographics for attorneys, median age 55, 47% are women, 53% are men, 59% are married, their median income 102.4. So now you can plug them into the pieces we saw before and know how to market to these people. What about dentists? Their demographics here. Can't you put together a marketing campaign for them or their staff or their office staff? Send them direct mail, social media, email campaigns. Hey, these people send things to us. Why can't we send it to them? if you have a dentist's office, they have 3 or 4 people that are working there, and you send something of value out about the market that to their office, they're going to look at it. So I found this and I thought this was really interesting. This is from an article about an agent in Miami that works with military personnel. And he's a retired military person. And this is what he did. Became an expert in VA benefits. He learned what each community in the Miami area had that could to offer to his clients. He developed a network of lenders, appraisers, inspectors who understood the VA benefits and could help his clients get to the finish line. Military members have issues like, what schools are we going to? They don't know this area. They were transferred in from California. They were transferred here from Germany. They don't know what the schools are. They don't know where the nearest VA clinic is or the VA hospital. And some families have special needs. So putting together that whole list of information that lets you bridge that gap for them as they walk in and make them feel welcome to a new area is huge. So his goal wasn't to sell them a house. It was talk to them about their options and help them decide if buying a house was the best decision for them. So again, it's not about being a salesperson. It's being somebody of value to your people. So we talked about this before. I just want to tell you again, get out of your house, volunteer. I'm going to tell you, these are things, and I'm just going to share with you a little bit at a time. Okay, a little bit about this. I work with an agent that I coach an agent that she loves animals. So what she does is she volunteers at an animal shelter. And every week she takes a picture of herself with a cute little puppy. And then she uses those in all of her marketing. So every month when her clients get a postcard, it has a different puppy on it. Now, not only is she getting their attention, because who doesn't want to look at a puppy, she's also advertising that animal shelter is a non-kill animal shelter. And she's giving back to the community. It has been incredible. The response from those postcards, people send her emails, they text her about it. Oh, I got that one. Oh, that's a German Shepherd. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh, is that baby still available? So doing things like that. Post happy hours in your clubhouse. A new agent that I worked with before down in Sarasota, what she did was that she lived in Lakewood Ranch in one of the communities there that has a clubhouse. So she sent out invitations to some key people after she did her research, reserved the clubhouse, had an open house, had a happy hour, and invited people to a happy hour. She had about 50 people show up for her happy hour. And there was 50 people that didn't know her, that got to meet her, and she got to give her information out and start building her community there. Attend charity events. Important to know, when you go to charity events, it's not to build your business, it's to build your social sphere. Play a sport, join a club. I don't care if it's a book club, I don't care if it's a prayer group, whatever that is, join something where you're extending your social experience. Not to sell houses, don't go in there and be a salesperson, go in there to meet more people. If you network, join a chamber. Join a BNI, join the Rotary, join the Lions, join a veterans group. I don't care what you join. Join something that puts you in front of people that aren't in your contact list. Get involved in your church, get involved in schools, get involved in the community, get involved in charities. I may have told you this before, but I worked with an agent down in Bradenton where her schedule every year included twice a week. She went to a local diner that had a breakfast bar that was close to Anna Maria, and she had breakfast by herself. And she met people, that bought houses because why? They were going someplace that was new to them. They go to Anna Maria, they went to Siesta Key. Oh my gosh, I'd really like to have a house here. Oh, we're moving our business down here. Can you help us find a place for our business? Can you help us find a house? Can you help my people when they move down here find a house? Just by going out of her house, going and have breakfast and talking to people. So all we're talking about is increasing your social sphere. There's also door knocking. Yep.
Hey, DJ, I just wanted to pop in really quick and just say, one, thank you for this list. Because for my business, I don't pay for leads. I played that game. I hated it. And I am much more of a face-to-face person. And so there have been many times where I sit down and I'm like, okay, where are buyers? Where are sellers? How can I meet new people? Especially when before real estate was a very big homebody. Didn't like people. I didn't like small talk. But looking at this list is really helpful because there's quite a few of these things that I have been doing over the past couple of years. And I have been getting not only leads, but actual closings from doing so. So I just wanted to share that with the group. I did find in my area, because I'm in Virginia, most of you, my lovely team members, are in Florida. So when these calls ended, I felt a little lonely. I was like, oh, I guess I got to get to work. I guess I got to go talk to other people, but I don't know where to go. So I did. I hopped on Facebook. I was looking at local events, local networking groups, mommy and me groups, all types of them. And I started joining them. I started going to their events, even if it was just like hey, we're meeting here for coffee. I'm not big. My coffee is black. So, I mean, I can get coffee from almost anywhere, but I still go and I'm getting deals. I'm adding to my database. I'm getting referrals as well. So I wanted to throw that out there for the new agents. Please take a look at this list because any and all of these things work. Going out to eat by yourself, as uncomfortable as that is, I've done it. But then I've made it a point to make an awesome connection with my waitress, sometimes bartender, so that I can still see if they know anyone looking to buy or sell or invest. So being purposeful about when you do these things, please know that when you're talking to someone, they're not everyone is gonna be like, actually, yes, my husband and I were just talking last night and we're looking to buy in the next 3 months. We don't have a lender. We would love to know who you recommend and we know which area. Let's go. They're not going to do that. But you need to keep your mind open for either keywords, phrases, things that they are saying that you can pick up on, that you can follow up on, or ask deeper questions to get that lead. So thank you, DJ, for this list, because there's also a few things that have been on my to-do list that I haven't, like the chamber, BNI, Rotary Lions, veterans, all of that. I haven't done any of that stuff yet. So thank you very
DJ,
much.
Can I interject one more thing on that too?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have a tortoise. This is Bunny, and Bunny, I walk in a stroller, and I send postcards around with Bunny in the stroller. I send postcards every month to my neighborhood, and I walk Bunny in the stroller, and everybody looks and says, "What is that? It's not a dog or a cat." I'm like, "No, it's a redfoot tortoise." So I have two of them, a boy and a girl, but I put it on my postcard. I put her picture on my postcard with a little tutu or something. And I've had all the luck from my postcards and walking around and meeting people. I brought her to Duffy's for dinner the other night in her stroller. And I get so much attention. So your friend with the animal control shelter, that is by far the best. People love babies and pets.
Yeah.
And it's the funniest thing. I mean, Bunny is like hysterical. Everybody loves Bunny. So it's quite the attention getter. So you are correct 100% on everything you're saying, but especially the postcards and things like that. They do work, even though everybody told me not to do postcards. It's a waste of money. But like Tiffany said, I have paid for leads and done a Zillow. It was the biggest waste of money.
Yep.
It is.
So
It is.
Yeah.
So thank you, Gina. And again, thank you, DJ.
Thank you. You know, the one of the other things I'd say is fall in love with where you live. If you're not in love with where you live, then you're gonna have to fake it. But I have seen so many people move to Florida and be so excited about being in Florida. And become a realtor. And that energy and that excitement just gave them the ability to talk to people. It's like they would, I know agents that, they'd be out to lunch or they'd be out having drinks or whatever, and somebody would say, they would hear somebody say they're from Michigan or they're from Ohio or they're from New York or whatever, and just say, oh my gosh, aren't you so excited to be here? Isn't this amazing? Isn't this a great place? We moved down here like 6 months ago and I have a real estate license because I'm just trying to help people that want to move down here, find the best place. And oh my gosh, we went to this place and this place and this place, and they don't keep their mouth shut. And it's probably the antithesis of what you should do in real estate. But if you are in love with your area and you have that enthusiasm and you're not trying to sell them, you're just excited, then do it. I mean, my gosh, people love excitement. When we talk about they love animals and they love children and that, why is that? Because it evokes an emotion. And when you can evoke emotion, that's when you make a connection. So just find things in your community that you want to sell and that you love, and then get that energy back. When you were a little kid, you loved everything. Find that little kid again. Okay, so stop at FSBO Properties. This is a true story. An agent in Sarasota, because you guys know I was in Sarasota, Bradenton area, and then I moved up to Lakeland. So by way of California, but that's a whole nother story. She lives on Anna Maria, and she was driving back from our office that was on the inland, and there was a for sale by owner on the causeway going out to or just after she got on the island, I guess. And so she stopped her car, went up, knocked on the door. She was dressed. She'd just been in a meeting. She was dressed. She knocked on the door and just said, I'm a realtor in this area, and I did not know that you were selling your house. And it's always my job to know what the inventory is in our area. And the lady invited her in to show her the property. She got a $1.7 million listing for stopping and talking to a FSBO and just being nice. So take people to breakfast or lunch. Look around you. Who knows people? Who are the people that know the people that you want to know? And take them to lunch. Ask for their help. Be honest. Be transparent. I am looking to build my business. You know people that I think I would really enjoy working with, and I think I could help. Will you help me? Who could I call? Who would you introduce me to?
Can I step in on this, DJ?
Uh-huh.
Because I recently did this as well. Right before I left Florida, there is one cashier at my grocery store that I love. She's always asking about my kids, and she's just an overall sweetheart. I've known the woman or known of her existence since I moved into my home 5 years ago. So before I left for Florida, I gave her my business card and I said, I know this is really weird, but I would love to take you to lunch. Will you let me do that? My treat. And she was shocked. She was like, what? Why? Because let's be real, she scans my groceries. She's not a waitress waiting on me. She's scanning groceries, but I still want to give back to her because she's a delight. She's a joy, and she puts a smile on my face. So I'm like, why wouldn't I give back to her? So I don't know if she knows anyone looking to buy or sell, but to me, I kind of don't care. Because one, I'm hoping that she can be an awesome cheerleader for me, regardless if she doesn't know anyone, if she hears of other people. So I wanted to throw that out as well, because we're always talking about pouring into others and giving back to the people that give to us. And so that's something that I've recently done with someone who works at the grocery store.
That's awesome. Because what does the universe say? What you give out is what you get back, right? So yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. And then there's always cold calling. So I look at this list and go, oh yeah, cold calling, no, but I will do all the rest of them, and so everybody's different. Some people love cold calling. Some people, would not join a club for anything, and doesn't mean you can't be a good realtor. It just means you have to find your own target market. So moving on. So those are things that work that you can do. Here are things that work passively. A strategic community farm, for example. I work with another agent that said, I've got to get out of the price point I'm in. I need to get into a bigger price point. How do we do that? And so after we went through building her avatar, then I learned that she's a horse person. She loves horses. She's a rider. She has a farm. So we looked at, okay, where can we market that you want to work, that the price point's higher? So we found a community that had horse properties, has 382 properties in that community. They all have more than 3 or 4 acres, and they're all over $800,000 price point. So we put together a marketing campaign. She got a first listing there, and it's postcards, totally all postcards, all set up by introducing herself, saying that I fell in love with your community, and I decided that I am going to spend a lot of my time working in this area with your help. And so everything was geared towards, what can I do to help you, with your properties, sell your properties, bring people in that you want, all that kind of thing. It was all about, what can I do to help? And after the 4th month of sending out the postcards, she got her first listing, and it's $1.1 million listing there. It was less than 400 properties. We blanketed it. We did not target anything other than that actual community, because we were looking to introduce her, get her to know everybody. And then when she took this listing, she sent out a invitation, a real invitation, not a postcard invitation, but a real invitation to everybody in that community, inviting them to a private open house to see, because the house had been remodeled, to see what had happened with the house. And she had over 100 people show up for that open house, because it was individualized that way. But her farm was strategic. She knew where she wanted to work. Kind of talk now. Beachfront, gated, 55 plus, has a community pool, a clubhouse, tennis courts. Look back at your list of the person that you're looking to market. What do they want? Do they want beachfront? Are they 55 plus? Do they want a clubhouse? Do they want tennis courts? Then look at the farms that are out there that would complete that need. Again, we talked about the postcards, 2 to 3% return, bus stop benches, strategic mailings. Let's say that there's a neighborhood that has 1,200 properties in it, but I only want to work with people that are downsizing. So I might be doing my research, finding the 2 stories or the very large homes in that neighborhood, and that's who I'm going to send my mailings to. Email campaigns. Email campaigns are really very effective if you are reaching the right target. So let's say that you're looking to reach, I don't know, the millennial. And so you are sending an email campaign out, and you do it twice a month. The first one is a marketing update. Strategically in their area, know your numbers, send them that information, talk to your lender, let them help you. They probably can get all that information a lot easier than you can, and send that information. So first, short, sweet. This is what's happening in our community, not yours, ours. And that's the first one. 2 weeks later, you send them a video. You send, hey, just thought I'd let you know there's a new coffee shop that opened up 2 streets down, or the next block over, or whatever, downtown. I was just there. It was amazing. Stop by and support our local community. Oh, by the way, they're doing some upgrading of the park that's down the street. Just wanted to let you know. Anything that you can do that's local, what does that do? That makes you more valuable. You know the community, and you're giving them information they can use. Text campaigns work. until people get annoyed, so don't overdo it. Social media campaigns, some of those. Sorry, thought that was off. You have to pay for some of the social media campaigns, some you can do on your own. Do podcasts. People like podcasts, TV, radio ads, and anything else that you can think of. So here's some ideas for you. Once you meet somebody, check their social media page. What do they like? You know, you meet somebody at a networking meeting, you really hit it off with this person. Go to their social media page, find out what they're interested in, send them an email and say something about something that you know they're interested in. Don't let them know you're stalking them, but use social media. Go where they are, meet them. If somebody says, you know, we're going to, you know, you ride a motorcycle. We're going to a motorcycle rally this week. You want to join us? Go. And be proactive. Join where they are. So if you want to go to another fly with birds of a different feather, then you're going to have to join them in their nest. So join them where they are. Drip campaigns. And then be prepared to customize your marketing message for each of your avatars. If you have 3 avatars, then you're going to have to do 3 marketing messages. And then here's the deal. When you do a drip campaign, yeah, you want to schedule a phone call or at least a text after the first 2 emails. Why? You want to make sure they're getting them. Why are you wasting your time if it's going to spam? If you call them and say, hey, I started sending out some emails and about our market, and then anything new that I find out that's going on in the community, I just want to make sure that you got them. Did you get the one I sent out last week? If they say no, I didn't get that, then, oh, that's probably in your spam. Can you check and let me know? So I want to make sure you get them. If you don't, and then you're spending all your time and your effort is going to spam. It's also a way to say, hey, you know, how you doing? And then after that, after every 4 emails, make contact. Either send them a note, send them a text, send them an email, or God forbid that you use the phone, but make a call. Keep in touch with those people that you're doing this for. Why are you doing it? You're doing it to build your social sphere and to get business. So here's another idea. Call your sphere avatars. Once you've gone through your sphere and you know which ones are your target market, your avatars. So for the first month of your action plan, every morning, get up, make a list, put it in paper in front of you. I'm going to call these 5 to 10 people every day. And I'll share a tip with you that I shared in another meeting the other day that a guy I know, this is what he does. Every morning, he has his list. And about 7 o'clock or a little bit around 7 o'clock, he calls every one of them, lets it ring one time and hangs up. Why does he do that? Because at least half of them call him back. Hey, did you call me at 7 o'clock this morning? Oh, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. I was just putting together. I just knew I wanted to call you today. And I was writing down I was putting your number into my phone. And I'm sorry, I called you by mistake and I knew how early it was, so I hung up. Hey, how are you doing? So, I mean, it was totally is what he does, you know, every time. But call your sphere, ask them how you can refer them. Don Yoakum was doing a workshop on a Friday last month, I believe. And he had a question that he asked that just blew me away. It was, do you know what your clients do? Do you have a list of them so that you can refer them out? Why would they refer you if you're not referring them? So know what your clients do. So call them, ask them, how can I refer you? Is there anybody that you would like me to give your information to? Tell them that what you're going to be doing, that you're going to be sending out your emails or your text or your postcards, and then ask them, what would you like to receive from me each month? Here's the thing, we spend time and time and time and energy and blood, sweat, and tears trying to figure out what somebody wants. You know what? Ask them. And then you're giving them actually what they want. And then from your filters, check out their social media page. Go where they are. Be proactive. Your drip campaigns, get those in going. And we're running out of time. So these are just some other things. Ask your lender, join something, whatever. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I want you to build a GPS. I want you to set a goal. Decide on 3 priorities. In other words, 3 target markets, and then put together 5 strategies to reach those people. Find a group of 3 to 6 other agents to brainstorm on ways to reach your target markets. Decide on 3 strategies for each target group. Be accountable. Track the numbers. And if you do nothing else from what I told you today, do this. Every day, make 5 phone calls, do 5 emails, send out 5 cards, make 5 texts, and do 1 social media post a month. So I know we don't have a lot of time. I am so sorry. I talked way too long. But does anybody, we can stick around and talk, but somebody please share your thoughts with me.
Hey, DJ, I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
Can you put too many posts on Facebook?
Here's the statistics I saw is that a person has there's 3 seconds that your post is going to be on their feed. So some people say you can do the same post 3 times a day and people will still not see it. Because we think that we post it and everybody can see it, and it doesn't. It just goes, when you look at your post, it's just so. Yeah. Anybody else? Questions, please. Comments, criticism, anything.
Again, DJ, thank you for that list, guys, because it really is just as simple as looking at that list. When it comes to picking your niche, it's what you want. If you don't want to work with doctors, then don't go after doctors. If you want to work with military people, then work with military people. Provide your niche with the resources and information that matters to them.
Okay. And it doesn't have to cost a lot. A really high producing agent that was down in the Keys several years ago when the hurricanes hit, everything was wiped out, and they said no more. I'm moving to Jacksonville, and so they moved up to Jacksonville, and they had to start their business all over again. And they had T-shirts made that said, Jacksonville Realtor with their information on it on the back, and say it, and ask me about any real estate questions. And the husband wife team, and they went to a gym, a high-end gym, and they went to the gym and worked out every day at different times, and that's how they built their business. It doesn't have to be technical. It doesn't have to be convoluted. It just can be do something. You can't sit at your house. Nobody's going to knock at your door and say, hey, will you list my house, please? Can I ask you to be my realtor? They're not going to do that. You have to get out and do something. So my challenge to you all is do something. Commit to something that you can next week, you can put into action. There is a networking group near you next week. Go. There is a club that's meeting next week. See if you can join. There is something going on next week you can do. You can walk the neighborhood next week. Pick a day. Once it's on your calendar, you'll do it. As long as it's all running around your head and you're trying to decide what to do, you're doing nothing. So, do something. It's like your mom said, get out of the house, go play, make friends. Right?
It's exactly like that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the live and the recording. Thank